Hey, today everyone, we are going to be crafting with our Cozy Christmas from our Festive Style collection. So this is one of my absolute favourite images. When we were selecting all the images for the Blockbuster, I instantly fell in love with this one because it is just so sort of funky. We've got the camper van on here, but then you've got all the gorgeous fairy lights on the trees, and it just really looks like a sort of woods that's just completely lit up. It's absolutely gorgeous. So what we're going to do is we're going to fussy cut around our camper van and do a little bit of fold back. So we're going to do the scoring first of all. So just bringing in our scoreboard, we are going to score at 2.5, and then we're going to score at 5. So then that is going to sort of come over about here when we've got our card together. So what I want to do over here, let me show you so you can see what we're aiming for, is I'm going to put my topper over here with the frame and our camper van in there. So 2.5, we're going to score up to the top of the camper van, and then 5 again, we're going to score up to the top of the camper van. And then I'm going to turn this around just so that I can mark at 2.5 and at 5, and then flip it back over because I need to see where I'm scoring up to, because again we're just going to go up to the camper van on those two sections there. So then we can just pop the scoreboard back, and we're going to fussy cut around the camper van here. So it's actually quite a nice easy shape to go around. Once you've got these presents out of the way, which are almost just like steps at the top, it's nice and easy. It really is straightforward. So we can just follow that sort of roof rack around, follow the caravan around the front, and just move in your cardstock to make it easier. Don't try and cut at a really awkward angle, just turn it around to suit you, and then around here and along that bottom edge there, around the wheels like this, and then along the underneath. And then we actually stop at this score line. So we started at the score line at the top of the presents there, and we've stopped at this score line at the bottom here, because what this is going to do is we can push that out. We're going to fold that first score line that we created, and then we're going to fold this one. And what that does is it gives us a really cool dimensional sort of cutout card. So just giving those a really good crease there. And I just love how it almost makes it look like that camper van's actually trundling along. I absolutely love it. So then what I've also done, because that wasn't enough fussy cutting, you can't actually see it, but I've just put a pencil line around here, which is the inner frame of our circle here. So again, I'm just going to go around with my craft knife, because what I wanted to do was almost put like an acetate window in here. So just following that frame around, so just catching that in the light so I can see exactly where I've drawn that in place. And you don't have to do this, again it's just me being extra. You absolutely don't have to. You can just add your topper onto here and that can be your card complete. But I just quite like having a bit of an acetate window in here. It just adds something else. Okay, so once we've got that in place, our frame will sit over that beautifully there. But before we add that, because obviously we need to stick this bit to something, we're going to pop some acetate behind here. So sandwiching the acetate between our frame and our card. So just take that around the edges with our double-sided, all the way around that frame. Again, just turning it around, pressing as you turn, oops, so that it goes around there. Just grab the backing off here. There we go. We got it. And then that can just sit onto here. So just lining it up to two sides, then we don't have as many to cut. You know, we've got the two edges there. We're not using as much of our acetate there at all then. And just sort of cut and try and bring your scissors underneath that frame so the acetate isn't going to hang out the edges. It just looks a little bit neater if you can really sort of undercut your acetate under your frame there. And then this is going to sit onto here. So I will add that. Again, I'm going to go flat with this. Rather than give it loads of dimension, I'm going to keep it quite flat because we've got quite a lot going on with the actual camper van in the front, and I'm also going to lift the topper up with some foam pads. And this, keeping it flat here, will hide all of our cutting and our workings. You know, if you've not cut your circle out absolutely perfectly, like mine is not absolutely perfect, then you can hide it with this by sticking it flat. So that can just sit there, creating that almost like a window in that card. And then, oops, our camper van is going to go in here, so some foam pads for this. And then I've also cut out our border here, which I just love, and that's I'm going to put this along here so that it sort of comes out from the camper van at the front there. So it's just a little extra that we can add on. You can of course save this for another card if you wanted to, if you don't want to use it on here. So just let me just shut this again so I can see where I want that to go. I'll just open that out, make sure that's nice and straight, and then just trim off the edge here. There we go. Oops. And then we just need to finish that off with a sentiment. So we have got, have a fantastic Christmas. Love that. So we'll just pop this on with a little foam pad, and I'm actually going to put this over this side. So we've just got something up in this little space at the top there. And there is our amazing camper van with that fold back effect. It just looks so cool.